A Bretonnian invasion force has found its way to Bretonnian shores, and now they must rally the lords and repel them, sending them back to Ulthuan once and for all. Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome to some Total War Warhammer 2. Today we are diving in with a brand new online battle, and this battle is kind of like a test battle because I need your help. I need the help of you Warhammer 2 pros to guide me in the ways. Because I did a stream not so long ago, a couple days ago, but basically I committed to saying I'm going to start playing Warhammer Online battles a ton more, and I want to get really good at them. I pride myself at being a very good competitive player. However, Warhammer, I haven't played it in years properly, but I am going to change that. I'm going to start streaming it a ton more, online battles that is, and I'm going to be trying to get really good with a handful of factions. One of the factions I do want to get really good with is Bretonnia, and you can see them moving forward in the background. And yeah, so I need your advice. If you guys have any good advice for me on playing Bretonnia, whether they've got some really good hidden units that are amazing, maybe some massive classic mistakes I'm making as a Bretonnian noob, let me know in the comments down below. And also give me advice about any other good factions you think I should really think about. I'm not going to be playing like the normie factions like the Empire. That's just boring, everyone plays them. But yeah, give me some advice down below in the comments. So in today's battle, this was taken from the live stream, and as you can see, things are getting ready to pop off. I'm playing Bretonnia, and this was a battle I was playing a little bit after. I think I played about 4 battles by this point, so I had kind of at least an okay idea about what I should be bringing. On my front line, I have 5 units of these men-at-arms with shields. Obviously, high elves, many arrow fire coming in, so I thought the shields would be very useful. And again, just a cheap unit, 325 gold for these guys. They're going to basically act as my front line, and they're not that bad. They've got, 60 leadership, which is pretty good for a men-at-arms unit. They've got 30 armor and 34 melee attack. They'll do okay. Obviously, they'll get slaughtered by any white lions or anything else that comes to bear, but still pretty good. I've also got a trebuchet back here, again, just to give me some range. However, I don't know if this was necessarily a great pick because, again, a lot of the time, unless you're having like an artillery off with someone, I feel like the other person's just going to rush you and kind of close in around you. I'm bringing the Fey Enchantress as my legendary lord. That passive that she gives just seems really strong whenever she casts a spell, and she is only going to be repping, I believe, with Earthblood and Regrowth, so trying to save as much money as I can with her. For my cavalry forces, I do have, I believe, 3 to 4 units of these Knights Errant. These guys, or Knights of the Realm, sorry, a cheaper force than, say, the Grail Knights or Grail Guardians, and you guys were suggesting that I could probably bring more of this cavalry, and they'd kind of fill the same role until I get a bit better at the game, and I think that was a great suggestion. So I've got about 3 units of these Knight Errants, maybe even 4, and they're going to provide me with a little bit of that anti-large, which necessarily isn't going to be great against the high elves, but I was expecting maybe a dragon or 2, and that's one of the reasons why I did bring some hippogriffs up here, because I was expecting a dragon, maybe 2, to arrive on the battlefield, and I wanted a bit more area superiority. This was definitely a unit I waste a lot, and that's something you guys will notice in these gameplays, is that I don't do a great job of utilizing my expensive units as I should be. Like I throw Leoncourt into battle and he just gets massacred in like 2 seconds. I'm like, oh, okay, that's 2,400 gold down the drain. And then finally, to round off my roster, I do have 2 units questing knights again, just to help me in that melee engagement. Over on the left-hand side, we'll go and play as the battle does kick off. The forces I'm playing against, Reginald is my opponent. He's brought a fire mage with some awesome AoE attacks. We've got the beautiful looking high elves as they march forward in sync to battle. Absolutely amazing. We've got a few Reaver units back here, so some lighter cavalry. And seeing this, I was pretty happy because I knew that I could definitely take this cavalry down without too much hassle. He also did put another unit of cavalry vanguard deployed it back here. I'm going to be trying to chase it down, try and get some early damage on it. That's why I'm sending my hippogriffs. I noticed this almost immediately by looking at the map, so it didn't really take me off guard or anything. And I was really trying to close off the distance as best as I could. Also, a cheeky firebolt coming in. Luckily, I mainly managed to dodge that. I abandoned the artillery and ran in. And yeah, took that on quite nicely. The rest of his army, though, again, he has some more Illyrians. He has some of the White Lions, which are going to be brutal. A unit of Silver Helms back here. So a decent amount of cavalry, honestly, to keep me at bay. And not really much infantry whatsoever. He has 3 units of Spearmen. He's also very interior into the battle as well. And just a very mobile force. And that's pretty scary, That's something definitely I'm going to struggle with in this battle, is dealing with a lot of these units. Luckily, I do manage to get down. Unfortunately, though, Reginald is going to keep on harassing. And again, I'm kind of overcommitting to this fight right now on this left-hand side. I'm kind of creating gaps so that Reginald, if he does want to, can kind of come in and obviously hit my back line. He's going to be looking with this very mobile high elf force to surround me and just get these rear charges off. My cavalry is going to come in, and again, he does just slip through. I do get a charge off here with my questing knights, doing some damage against these guys. I'm going to be killing a handful of models, which is nice, but these guys are going to be moving off. I also throw in some Knights of the Realm as well, who are going to get absolutely just destroyed almost immediately. Again, really poor move by me. Him having Tyrion here was just deadly, and this was a really, really bad trade, because as you can see, my unit is getting absolutely slaughtered, being charged by the Illyrian Reavers, and the Silverhelms. Fire Cloak cast on the Silverhelms, but also just having Tyrion here, Foe Seeker, Feint and Repose, it's just such a high melee attack. As you can see, he's up to 107 melee attack. He's going to rip through these guys, and yeah, they're going to break before I can really do too much. And that's kind of forced me to overcommit to this fight. I'm going to try and cast a Earthblood off on them, just to try and keep them alive, or a regrowth even. Kind of a bit too late. I think they've already routed, or at least they're almost momentarily going to rout. I do go ahead and send my Hippogriffs down, though, trying to punish Tyrion and try and get on him. And so they are going to come flying down. Unfortunately, though, he is going to be pulling them back. Over on his right-hand side as well, he does get a very good charge off me whilst I was busy microing elsewhere. I'm immediately, though, going to bring around my cavalry round and then hopefully just kind of push into the back there as best as I can. The lions, again, are going to come in on me again. Oh, it's just so bad. There's little micro things like this, which obviously I'll get better the much more I play. We have a pretty big engagement back here. The Hippogriffs do go flying in, doing some amazing job against the Silverhelms. Obviously also fighting away against the against the lions, which is again a pretty good engagement for me. Obviously fighting Tyrion isn't the best, but I'm sure the Hippogriffs will do some good damage to him and doing some great AoE damage. I'm just sticking around here with the Fae as well, and unfortunately again that cavalry coming around my back and just doing some serious damage into the Illyrian, into my artillery crew is just brutal. He really outmaneuvered me in this battle. He also seemingly did forget his unit of Sisters of Avalon, which is a huge plus for me, because that would have been very, very crucial. Luckily though, my knights are proving their worth, and even Knights of the Realm here are doing a great job at just engaging in against the Illyrian Reavers. Obviously, I'm going to be outmatching these Illyrian Reavers. Dragon Princes might be a different question, but for the most part they're doing a pretty good job. We have some swordsmen fully engaged against the spearmen. Again, these are only spearmen, nothing to really worry about, so my peasant infantry are doing pretty good. I imagine if I ever come up against a force of Chaos Chosen or something, that's when I need to be like, oh crap, here we go. So constantly trying to cast off as many spells as I can. I believe I also got a really nice comment from the chalice that the Fae can bring. And yeah, and a lot of this time, guys, do just bear with me, because I will be getting used to a lot of the names and spells and stuff again. It will take me a little bit of time. And here we go, another Earthblood being dropped down. Just trying to kind of keep my men as healthy as possible. There's a nice little clump here. Just getting my infantry up to full strength as well is really, really nice. Over on this side as well, I am being chased down by a noble. And something I definitely did kind of realize from playing the 4-5 games is a lot of my armies were built to win battles but not kill heroes, if that makes sense. I don't have a lot of hero killing in my army, so because of that, I ended up losing a lot of battles because my opponent had a lot of heroes left, and obviously I couldn't really deal with them. So it's obviously something I'm definitely improving. Do you guys have any good suggestions for a good anti-hero Bretonnian unit? Do let me know. I imagine just Grail Guardians or Grail Knights would be very, very useful. So over on this right-hand side, you can see that I've managed to basically break a decent amount of the Illyrian Reavers, and I'm bringing around the rest of my men. I also got my artillery back on as well. Just trying to do as much damage as possible, bring around this cavalry. But I've kind of clumped up a lot here as best as I can. Trying to just bonus up as much HP as I can. Another Earthblood being dropped down. A really nice Earthblood, actually, hitting a large amount of my men. They get a bit clumped up, and look at that damage! Oh my god, the questing knights just getting absolutely eradicated by that firestorm. Really, really deadly. Sisters of Avalon are going to hopefully take a charge here, but that volley fire coming in is taking down a lot of my knights errant, and they just don't have a lot of HP. And again, that's when I guess you pay the extra 600 gold for the Grail Knights. Again, I get a nice charge off there on them. However, I'm probably going to break pretty quickly And that's where like a Grail Knight unit would have done a lot of good damage. I'm also sending over my Griffins as well to try and take these guys down. And I do manage to get down onto them. However, reinforcements are going to wrap around. The high elf player is going to bring around a ton of men here to reinforce this with his silver helms and also with his noble. Again, both of them, or at least the noble being anti-large. Once again, more earth bloods being dropped down here. I'm not sure if it was a waste here to keep on earth blooding my men at arms. Probably was right. I probably should have saved it. I was just really trying to, you know, just try and keep these knights of the realm alive as much as possible. Another big firebolt coming in, and that's something I definitely should have tried to shut down as well. I think maybe the Griffins should have gone after the fire mage and just dealt with him as quickly as possible. So right now, bounce power is still extremely even. If you can get a nice volley off on here, not really much I can do about the Sisters of Avalon. I just kind of have to take that missile fire. Maybe could have clumped up and waited for a better opportunity. Luckily, though, able to send the Mage of Fire packing. And I've kind of got my men pretty clumped up right now, which is good if I can get any more magic off. However, I don't think there's any winds of magic left in that. I think that was my last Earth Blood. So I could have maybe have tried to get a little bit more. Tyrion is here, though, and Tyrion is by himself. He's an absolute beast, but I'm going to try my best to envelop him and just try and whittle his HP down because there's not really a lot left elsewhere. And something I guess I could do is I could, like... looking back on this battle, something I definitely could have done is just try to kill the army, leave Tyrion alone, because as I said, I don't really have much anti-hero in this army. Just try and kill the Silver Helms, try and kill the Sisters of Avalon, and kind of just go from there. Because again, the Questing Knights are pretty doing some pretty good damage against him. I've got the Fae in there just charging for that charge explosion. Big explosion there in the distance. Because again, yeah, I throw in the Hippogriffs, which are nice, but again, that Noble is going to anti-large, going to tear them apart. So again, definitely should have held back this unit as well. So you know, realistically, I should have brought this unit over to help me kill Tyrion. Because Tyrion is getting low now, and yeah, looking back on this battle, 100% should have brought him over. I managed to break the entire high elf battle line here. Bounce power is slowly shifting in my favor, and 100% I should have brought back them Hippogriffs to help me out here. Tyrion is so close to breaking, and you know, obviously Tyrion dying is GG if I can bring him down, which I'm really hoping I can do. I'm throwing everything in against him, just trying to swamp him. I believe the Fae's in here. There are still some cavalry moving around, and boom. And boom. He drinks a health potion. I cry. Tears on stream fall out my eyes, and I'm like, oh my god. Yeah. I was like, because again, it's like stuff like that I don't really take into account when I'm playing, because I just haven't played enough. And seeing Tyrion just go back up to full HP was very upsetting. Definitely should have brought back the Hippogriffs to deal with Tyrion, because they would have done a lot of damage to him, armor piercing and causing terror. If they were here, Tyrion probably would have routed, which would have been nice, because then one unit to chase him down and dealt with the rest of this army. Unfortunately, though, lose the Hippogriffs, and now the rest of the Illyrian army is going to be moving around, and I just don't really have the damage to deal with the Noble and Tyrion. They're basically just going to run around. I don't really have anything in my army. Maybe that's besides the Hippogriffs, that's maybe what they should have been designed to do. So I'm going to come in as best as I can. The Fae is going to move in and again just try and use that explosion. I was really surprised that the Fae did some really good damage on that charge. But yeah, again, now the Sisters of Avalon are here as well. Not shutting them down is going to hurt me pretty heavily, and even if units do come back, I mean, Tyrion is just going to tank this entire army now. He's fighting men at arms, like, this is basically, yeah, Tyrion just doesn't even care. They're like slowly tickling him, and he's just like, ha 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 ha, dead. Killing many of them without too much hassle. Pushing the Fae in to try my best to do anything, but the rest of my army is now getting shot to pieces, and that's going to be GG basically at that point. So I think it was really a very fun battle, considering this is like my 4th online battle in a long time. I think I did do pretty good, and I'm definitely getting a good hang of Bretonnia. I think obviously things I would change in my army, maybe not bring the Hippogriffs, but I think the Hippogriffs were good for this matchup, to hit backline stuff and also to kill heroes. Maybe that's what I just needed to use them a bit more for, was to kill heroes. I like the Knights Errant, considering that if the high elf player did bring a bunch of Dragon Princes, he wouldn't be able to bring many of them, and I could probably shut that down quite nicely. Yeah, I probably wouldn't, I don't know if, I feel like a Trebuchet is kind of wasted in a lot of these matchups, because it's nice, but it's always for target, and it's kind of, I don't know if it's worth the 600 gold, honestly. But again, the Knight's doing a great job. Obviously, my microing could be improved, but for the most part, not bad whatsoever. And we managed to shut down a large amount of his cavalry in this battle, you know. We managed to shut down a large amount of that cavalry, so happy with that for sure. But it was just Tyrion and the noble as well, which really punished me, and I definitely did not get my money's worth from my royal hippogriffs in that engagement. Definitely could have done a better job of them. But overall, a really, really close battle. So massive thank you to Reginald for playing with me. Massive thank you to everyone in the comments as well for giving me advice. I really appreciate it. I definitely will need it as well. And hopefully I can get some good battles for you guys. Hopefully I can become a good Warhammer 2 online player. And maybe compete against some of the better classes and bring you guys some good competitive matches. If you guys are good at Warhammer and you have a good replay for me that's at least over 10 minutes, send it in to me. I would love to check it out and maybe cast some better so I can see what better players are doing and then bring that to my own game and see if I can improve myself by watching the better players. So do send them in to me if you do have any, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.